Welcome to Thursday Night Knives. I'm Bob DeMarco. Coming up, 2 Amazon Prime Days cold steels. I'll show those off. They're cool. They're not new, but they're new to me. I'm going to be giving away this really cool knife that I got from Dave, of course. This is I keep forgetting the name of this. It is the Jason Browse design. That's who I wanted to mention. Jason Browse design Lunatech frame lock. And it is a really cool knife, aggressive, futuristic design. I would imagine a pretty useful design at that. And then what's your full EDC lineup? Because the reason I ask that is I have been carrying this light somewhat frequently, except I gotta work on locking it because sometimes it turns on and I'm like, why is my leg so hot? So we're going to talk all about that stuff. What are you guys up to? Let me know. How's Thursday for you? Beginning of the weekend. Marco, how you doing, sir? Evening, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. It's good to have you here, Marco. OG Blade Review says, evening, all knife junkies. I'm afraid I'll need till next week to give you my full EDC lineup, although I might share today's carry with you all later. Yes, I will be looking forward to that. Only a few people can say that they have a Zippo, a Knife Junkie Zippo in their EDC. Ground Fog, nice to have you here, sir. I think I have 2 left. And then I'm going to do some more. Michael Elliott got one. Jim got one. And a couple of others have gotten these. They're awesome. Of course, mine, I have the double jets in there for cigars, but yours will come with the regular wick. But these are not too expensive, these inserts. They also come in black, if that interests you. James Hart, how you doing, sir? Hello, he says. Well, hello to you, sir. Hope you're doing well. Matt Lamana, how you doing, Matt? Happy Thursday Night Knives, Bob, Jimmy Notes, and Junkies all. EDC Exceed Design Rampant Flashlight. Exceed Designs Rampant Flashlight. Big Idea Bolt Pen. Sweet. I like Big Idea products. I like their watches. SOG Multi. Snake Staff EDQ. What is that? A Ridge Wallet. Those are cool. Zippo, Matt. Zippo iPhone 9mm AIWB. So is that in the waistband? Appendix in the waistband. Extra mag. World War I 1916 issue rosary. Ah, yes. I have not a rosary, but I have this cross cast in silver that my grandfather made years ago. And then what used to be called the bullets of the Catholic Church. It's the little pendant with Mother Mary on there. Yeah, so I got some protection too. It's good to have. Sword XXXY, good to have you here, sir. Good day, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. Good day to you, sir. Hope all is well down under or on top. I mean, from your perspective, it's all a matter of perspective, ain't it? Matt Lamont says, I don't own any wheels. I'd like to change that at some point. You don't own any wheels. Oh, well, are you talking about a car? Are you a city dweller, Matt? Wheels, wheel guns. I got you. No, I would like to too. Yes. Occam's razor, Bob. Yeah, wheel guns. I'd love to have a good old fashioned single action cowboy gun too. Split and slices. Nice to have you here, Byron. He says, howdy, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. Thursday Night Knives. Welcome one and all. Well, thank you, man. It's really good to have you here. It's good to have Adrian Fighter 35 here. Good evening, Bob, Jim, and fellow junkies. Hope everyone is doing great. Awesome topic tonight, as usual. Thank you, Adrian. I hope you are enjoying your evening. Hopefully you are with your better half and things are going swimmingly. James Hart, he says, my EDC carry is pretty boring. Swiss Army knife, deluxe tinker. That's not boring. Mine, I've been carrying this compact a lot. I love these things. And then just dangle it in the pocket. It's like it's barely there. Old Gerber multi-tool. Cold Steel Voyager drop point 4-inch blade. That is in my cart. I need to get one of those. Every day, everywhere, because they're in my EDC bag. Yeah, my EDC bag is similar. I got a couple of flashlights, a couple of knives. It's always overdone, but I always keep a Cold Steel on me. James Hart says, also, when out walking, I have the Cold Steel Irish Blackthorn cane. I have one similar right here, given to me by... Oh, whoa, sorry, hang on. Okay, sorry about that. Something fell over, but I didn't want it to. Anyway, Craig Vincent says, evening, Bob, Jim, and Junkie's full EDC lineup is whatever knives I'm carrying, 2 small flashlights, a jet cigar torch, a small multi-tool, and a small back pocket first aid kit. That's a great idea, Craig, especially for those of us who cut ourselves frequently. Yesterday, me at work with a spay blade. I knew I was going to do it before I did it too. I was so stupid. Jacob Vargas, nice to have you here, Jacob. Good evening, Knife Junkies. Good evening to you, man. Glad you're here. Yeah, I came to my desk and I realized that I had left a pistachio that wasn't quite open, had a small, tiny slit in it. So I opened up my desk trapper and I went to work with that spay blade. And I was like, this is so stupid. Why am I? And it was a bad cut, deep cut, but holding it, pinching it. Sean Clark, how you doing, sir? Good evening, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. Good evening to you, man. Hope you're doing well. Anyway, you know, you all do it probably as much as I do, but I have a bunch of these Be Less Dumb TKL Knives Band-Aids. So, you know, there's a win in there somewhere. Ben Odie, nice to have you here, sir. Evening all, Bob, Jim, and fellow junkies. It's good to have you here, Ben. Hope all is well in your realm. Very artistically talented guy is Ben. Terminator Joe, nice to have you here, Terminator. I don't know. This is the knife I think of when I think of Terminator Joe. I know he's got a lot of other great ones, like the one right here down on the mat, but I think he's the one who really got me excited about the Mayhem after so many years of it being out, too. Terminator Joe says, good evening, fellows. It's another night of knives. That indeed it is, sir. Glad to have you with us. Eric Flat, nice to have you here, Eric. Or as we say down under, Friday morning knives. Hi, mate. Hey, man, it's good to have you here. We have a pretty strong contingent from Australia. I think that's awesome. And happy Friday morning knives. Commander Raider Bell, good to have you here. Good evening. What's the best knife for camping? By the way, go Dodgers. Well, funny you should say that. I'm really loving this, and spoiler alert, it's on my it's in my EDC today, but I love this LT Wright Knives small Northern Hunter. I've had the large Northern Hunter, which is the same design, like a Canadian belt knife, only larger. And that thing is awesome too. That was on loan to me. I really love this. Very sharp spine. I like just throwing sparks with it. And it's a great, great cutting knife. Haven't used it much outside. And by much, I mean at all. I've used it for some EDC tasks. I've been carrying it on Thursdays just religiously because I'm around the house. I love this thing. I would check out LT Wright. Jammin' Parker, nice to have you here, Jammin'. Evening, everyone. Happy Thursday night knives. Happy Thursday night knives to you, sir. I raise my water. Paul Mills, nice to have you here, man. He says, Bob DeMarco. Love it. Fred Ferbemeyer, nice to have you here, Fred. Hello, Bob. Hello, Fred. How's the world treating you, sir? Lone Star Dowboy, also from across the shop, considerably far. Let's say Troy far. He says, Lone Star, he says, good to be attending with the rest of the Edged fraternity. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There are plenty in this club. Not all are here tonight, but plenty in this here club of Edged lovers here. That sounded weird. I mean, edged weapons lovers and knife lovers. Anyway, Angry Tom's Hat Next Door. Nice to have you here, Angry Tom. Also a member. When you see that little symbol, that means he's a member through YouTube. And he says, good evening, Jim, Bob, and all junkies. Did you see what I did there? Good evening, Jim, Bob, and all you junkies. I'm not sure if I did see what you did there, Angry Tom. But I'm always looking for a good pun or dad joke. So let's give me another one. Paul says, hey, guys. So, Paul, hope you're having a good night. And I hope you all are enjoying the fraternity. Will B, nice to have you here, Will. He says, good evening, Bob, Jim, and junkies. Will, also one of our longest running gentleman junkies. So good to have you here, Will. Sean says, anyone get the Provoke X today? I missed it by seconds. Sold out quickly. Now waiting on Instant Ronin to drop this month. Which, okay, these are folders, I think. Sean, let me know who makes the Provoke X and the Instant Ronin. I feel like I'm out of it a little bit, frankly. I've been kind of immersed in fixed blades, I got to say. So let me know. Interested. Split and Slices says the usual carry is a modern folder and a slip joint, Olight and mini tack pen in the 3-in-1 EDC leather pouch. Okay, those are cool, man. Sometimes I can do them sometimes in the winter. Other times I just don't like stuff in my pockets that much. Then either a neck knife or an EDC fixie. Yeah, that's right. You like the everyday necker from Off Grid, right? Northern Knives, nice to have you here, sir. Good evening, Jim, Bob, and Junkies. Happy Thursday night knives. Love the Zippo, Bob. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad you do. Well, I need to order more of these. I will be ordering more of these. 28 Cheetos later. Good to have you here, Cheeto. Yola, Bob, and Jim. Carrying a Benchmade Griptilian, T-Kel Striker, and a GEC 86. I love the 86. I have two 86s from when it was the pen knife and the clip point jackknife. I wish I had them. I should have pulled them out. I don't know why I would have randomly. I didn't carry it today, and I rarely have brought out my GECs recently. That's got to change. John Schaaf, nice to have you here, John. He says, hi, everybody. Hi to you, John. It's a pleasure. Hope your Thursday is going great. Michael Elliott, how you doing, sir? Good evening, Bob, Jim, and fellow junkies. My EDC lineup includes a full-size OZ9 Q with extra mag and at least two GFC fixies. And what he's talking about is this right here. Gunfighter Customs fixie. This is the Gunfighter, designed by the same Michael Elliott. And now this is soon that will be in there too, because Michael just got a Zippo. So let's see. He says a tactical pen, two OTFs, a Nightcore EDC 29. So I've been carrying this Nightcore EDC 27 that Dave gave me, and I love this thing. I love the instant strobe. Travax wallet, watch, and Next Wool W4. What watch do you carry? I'm interested. This today was the first time I've ever taken a watch apart, and I took apart this Luminox my dad gave me years ago, and it always looked a little clouded. The crystal, the inside of the crystal, like maybe it got wet in there once. But I've worn this to the pool like many times, and it hasn't gotten more. So anyway, I took it apart, and it's the first time I ever did that. Removed the movement and the quartz movement, which comes out in one little solid block. Polished up the inside of the glass and put it back together, and I felt so accomplished. I'm like, I took apart a watch. I've never done that. Anyway, 1931 Leatherworks says, hello, everyone. Well, hello to you, man. I hope you're doing well. I have another watch I want to take apart because I want to paint the hands. They're too much like the face or the dial, and you got to like spend time looking at it. So I want to paint them. David Nephilim Slayer, nice to have you here, sir. Okay, wheel guns. There are still Smith model 28-2 357 ABD for those that want less recoil model 48-2 22 WMR. I don't know exactly which ones those are, but my brother had, I'm not sure if he still does, a number of Smith & Wessons, to include snub noses and then like larger framed, I don't know, end frame or edge. I love Smith & Wesson. I think they're very cool. I'm not sure if he has those anymore though. Terminator Joe says my EDC changes from time to time. Me too. And the whole thing about having a EDC backpack changes a lot of stuff. Oh, by the way, Cliff Brot, nice to have you here, sir. He says, I have the Blackthorn Cold Steel staff. That thing is awesome. I love that walking stick. So this is a knife that we're giving away tonight. Hashtag knife, pretty exotic. I love it. It's got this cool fuller along the top, so you can easily flip it open, middle finger flick it. You can even slow roll this one, or I've gotten it to. You got to pinch it first. That's what she said. John Schaaf says, I happily carried my Kaiser Mad Tonto today. That's a great knife. Damned designs. Kaiser Micarta, some of the best. I would agree with you. Hashtag knife for this, guys. Is it too futuristic for you? I doubt it. I think it's just super cool. I think it gets cool points. And this recurve, I love the shape of that recurve. It seems like it would be super useful, oddly enough, for feather sticking, kind of in the same way what's that knife called? Tracker knife is. Though this is obviously wouldn't be your first choice outside, but who knows? Maybe you're sitting around the campfire, or maybe you're sitting around the backyard fire pit, and you want to impress everyone and feather stick with this, and then light it with your Zippo. That could be a great way to impress the neighbors. But anyway, hashtag knife in the comments so we can do a drawing of this later. Pete Davidson, nice to have you here, sir. Good day, blokes. How's it going? It's going great. How you doing, man? It's great to have you here. I carry lots of crazy crap every day. Folding knife, multi-tool, fixed blade, torch, watch, pen, Sharpie, Knipex Cobra, saw blade, file, diamond sharpener. Wow, that's cool. That is quite the carry. Pen and a Sharpie. Sharpies are a must, aren't they? Justin Musica, nice to have you here, Justin. He says hashtag knife. And why? Because he wants to win this cool Jason Browse design blade. Do you remember Jason Browse? Right? He was the hot ticket for a while there, maybe 10 years ago, something like that. Michael Young, nice to have you here, Michael. He says Odin Wolf sow catcher on the belt. I love that knife. A cold steel Luzon in the pocket, Milwaukee Hawkbill in the back pocket. Michael, nice carry, man. Very nice carry. You are definitely not under-knived with that setup. Pete Davidson says, it's lunchtime Friday in Australia. It's my Sunday, so perfect timing for the show. Oh, well, enjoy your Sunday. I guess your work week starts Friday. Jacob Vargas says, the handle looks comfortable on the LT knives. Yes, it does. And I got to say, it has a cool barong-like blade. I love the shape of that blade. It's beautiful. I love this knife. We are also going to be giving away this to the Gentleman Junkies. Bobby Rains. How you doing, Bobby? Good to have you here, man. I'm looking forward to our collaboration coming up. And by collaboration, all I mean is I'm buying his knife. I'm going to be getting a Rainmaker. So it's not a collaboration at all, actually. It's just me asking him a commission. That's what it is, not a collaboration, a commission. I'm really looking forward to it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be, I'm offering up some knives. I'm not going to do the hard sale, but I've got 5 Civivis and 4 Sencuts that I want to sell. The Sencuts I'm selling for $25 shipped to your door, and the Civivis $30 shipped to your door. That's a savings of 50% in both cases or more. David Nephilim Slayer says, camp knife BK2, nice, inexpensive, enough to abuse and lose. Some call it a pry bar with an edge. That is a great, yeah. The BK knives by K-Bar, but also the SE knives, those are great. That sort of full tang, sort of robust camp knife. Gentleman Junkie this month stands to win this beautiful thing. This is from LT Wright Knives also. This one is the Frontier Valley, a really great little camp knife, EDC, kind of do everything except the big stuff kind of knife. Really sharp, what is this? This is AEBL, really sharp, full flat ground with a sharp 90-degree spine, or less. He really, he meaning LT, really prides himself in the ability for his knives to throw sparks. So a great camping knife. This is one of those little ones that you could just have on your person all the time, and not just camping. This would make a great EDC, either drop in the pocket or wear on the belt. So you can join here on YouTube to be a Gentleman Junkie, or you can join at Patreon, whatever your pleasure. Beautiful leather sheaths too, I gotta say. I think there was a comment before. Oh, James says the BK16 would also make a good camp knife. The BK, aren't all the BKs, wouldn't they all be pretty darn awesome? I don't know, because I've only ever owned one. Unfortunately, I sold it years and years ago. It's the one that was a trailing point. You don't see it that much. Karen Slavin, nice to have you here, Karen. Good evening, fellow junkies. Happy Thursday night knives. My everyday carry, unfortunately, is nothing. Thanks to the laws in the People's Republic of New York, almost all my collection is slightly illegal. That sucks. Are you in the city or are you in the the other like 98% of the place? I swear the city kind of runs the rest of that state with their laws. Lone Star Dowboy says when scientists play music at work, they are doing a lab dance. Oh, that's pretty good. That's good. That's good. I like that. I like that. I'm gonna have to bust that out. Not in mixed company, but I like it. Angry Tom's Hat Next Door says every day I carry a slip joint in a leather slip, hitchhiker wallet, Zippo, and a flipper or a small fixie. Very nice. What's a hitchhiker wallet? Is that a wallet with the chain? Pete Davidson says, being a knife and gear junkie, slut maybe, I have a wide selection of stuff to choose from for daily carry. But these days, I'm tending to carry things I've made or modified myself. I love that. That's cool to be able to carry something you've made. Pete, you love the police model, right? The Model 4, Police 4. Oof. Michael Young says Smoky Mountain Knife Works still has the Provoke axe in stock. Oh, what is that? Oh, that's is that the CRKT transforming pocket axe? Provokes the folding tomahawk by CRKT. Instant Ronin is 2 knives in one. Look it up. We'll love it. Oh God. Okay, I'll love the Instant Ronin. Got to write that down. Where's my Northern Knives pad? Here it is. Instant Ronin. The Provoke. Hang on, Ronin. That is really cool. That's a same guy who designed the, what's his name? Oh, suddenly it'll come to me. An American Father. Nice to have you here, sir. Hello, friends, he says. Hello to you, an American Father. Nice to have you with us. The guy who designed the transforming karambit, Joe Caswell. He did the axe too. Matt Maurer, nice to have you here, Matt. Hi, Bob and everyone. Good to have you here, Matt. John says, did everybody catch this week's Slunky podcast? It was a banger, some real inside baseball courtesy of Bob and Mr. Williams. Man, he is otherworldly in a lot of ways. And what I mean by that is his study of the martial arts and other kind of combative stuff is so deep, and he's like almost 80 and still built like a tank, which I definitely respect. Anthony Kitchen says, hey Bob, got the elements. Anthony, first of all, nice to have you here. What elements? What are you talking about, Anthony? Let me know. Pete Davidson says, oh yeah, I forgot to mention I always carry a Zippo with the jet insert and a small backup gas refill or Bic for when the gas runs out. Yes. Yeah, and it runs out suddenly with the jet inserts. It's like, done, and you're left like with a half-lit cigar. Yeah, let me know what you meant by the elements. It's ringing a bell. Ken Reed, nice to have you here, Ken. Good evening, all. He says, EDC Spyderco Military 2. I love that. Want it badly. Olight Arkfeld, Glock 43X, the Sun 2 Outlander X Watch. Ooh, that sounds cool. And Victorinox Farmer X. I love the Farmer X. I love all of the X's, I think. Ken, the Outlander watch, I think I know which one that is. Sunto. You got a nice carry. Like it. Military 2. Hero Sticks. Nice to have you here, sir. Thursday Night Knives, he says. Evening and cheers, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. Well, good evening to you, Hero. If you didn't hear, Hero, we're giving away this cool Jason Brous designed Lunatech knife. Not to be confused with lunatic. I'm going to just put this under here so we can all look at it. So that's #knife. Will B says, lately, I've had my DeMarco machine ground 8020 XL on me all the time. Just about everything else changes other than my Microtech Hera 2. Usually 5 to 9 blades. Love that. I love that, Will. Would this be one of them? Pretty cool. This is a grip insert, by the way. Really nicely done. So Dave said, what? Get out of here. A little tiny bug. Anyway, OG Blade Review says, well, my EDC is going to change from day to day. with no ultimate, but carry sometimes new today. Oh, something new today. So, dot, dot, dot. Oh, come on. Come on. You're leaving me on tenter hooks here. Put it up, Dave. Let me know. Let me know what you got. Today's carry, North Mountain Lucky Dog Folder, homage to Mad Dog. I don't know which one that is. Pinkerton Customs Escort, very nice. Concept Jonathan Styles Kit Poo, North Mountain Blades Quaken Front Flipper, nice. Max Ace Pterosaur and Benchmade Fact. Nice. That's a good mix there. I like Jonathan Styles designs. I have one of his knives from when it was Newfoundland Knife Company, and it's a great knife, except it's Cerakoted red, and that's always been kind of like a oh. Anthony Kitson says, I rearranged my folders today, about 50 or so. Need to go back and oil with season change. Yes, indeed, Anthony. It's fun to do. And today I did a little bit of that, a little bit of curating, we'll call it. Gary Bucco, nice to have you here, Gary. On board today is a Vosteed Naga and my Held Fast Knives custom fixed blade. Ooh, that sounds cool. I've never heard of Held Fast, but it sounds good. I love custom fixed blades. Craig Vincent says, Bob, similar to you with the Mayhem, after having no interest in it at all since its release, I finally broke down this week and got the Hatamoto reissue. Very nice, man. I haven't put it down in 2 days. That is a cool knife. And I remember when it was when it was original, like I remember the original version with all those things that came out. So expensive for me back then. Michael Elliott says, my watch is either the Casio Pro Trek smartwatch. My dad got me one of those. It's not a smartwatch, but it's a Pro Trek from the early mid 2000s, and it's got a compass and a barometer and all that. Really cool. Or G-Shock Solar Automatic. Awesome. I love G-Shocks. I want to get the Casio, the one that looks, it's a G-Shock that has a traditional movement, and it's got a octagonal bezel like the Royal Oak. I also typically carry a Fox Knives cigar cutter. I need a nice cigar cutter. I've been catching up on my smoking lately, and I need a nice cigar cutter at this point. Jacob Vargas says today's EDC is the T-Kel worn EDC and the T-Kel Night Stalker Civivi Blue Tick. Oh, that's cool. That's the Keennison Knives knife. Jesse Reisbach, nice to have you here, Jesse. Para 3 in black. G10 Salt, very nice. The i3E EOS Olight, and the Exodus 3 #knife, because he wants this knife, and I'm sure you do too. So make sure you put #knife in a comment or just in the comments, and you'll be in the running for this in about a half hour. Lone Star Dowboy says, I rotate my knives every day, something for routine tasks and one for personal protection. However, I practice with my Balisong and Karambit trainers every day. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Especially, I got to say, telescoping baton in the car. I keep hammers in the car. I feel like they're easier to explain. But the Balisong, really cool and fun to practice that. And if you're going to use it for self-defense, yeah, definitely got to practice with it. But I think it's great that you practice with a Karambit trainer. Because that's a knife you don't want to mess up using. Jammin Parker says, I carry a rotation of different 7 to 10 inch blades in my backpack. Man, close to my heart. I like that too. Man after my own heart. A 3 to 4 inch in the waistband defense fixed blade, usually the 001. Excellent. Thank you, Jammin. Or a Compliance Edge DCK. I love that knife. I want to get that knife so bad. Also, a Leatherman Skeletool and a Glock 19 and an Olight. Very nice, Jammin. You got it. Yes, that you've got all your bases covered there. Gary Balmain, good to have you here, Gary. Good evening today. Well, good evening to you. Today is the SRM 258 L-GN and an Ace Beam H16 and a Torrigan watch. Ooh, those are beautiful. #knife. Excellent, Gary. I hope you win. I hope you all win. If not tonight, somewhere down the road. I have a stockpile of knives to give away thanks to Dave of OG Blade Reviews. Thank you, Dave. Also, Mike of Northern Knives has given us some beautiful stuff to give away. So I'm honored to be passing all this stuff on to you through these guys. Terminator Joe says, EDC now including my carry pack, a headlight, small measuring tape, my old Leatherman multi-tool, ferro rod, lighter, 2 earbuds, small can of mace. That's an important one. Some paper towels, 2 pens, not including knives. Okay, all right, that's cool. Headlamp, measuring tape, the spray. I think it's important to have. I've been carrying it a little bit more. I have one at my desk at work. I have one in the car. Because if you think about it, you don't want to have to stab someone unless you really, really like your life is really super depending on it. But if someone's like in your face or like throwing a punch, you don't want to be stabbing them, but you might want to mace them in the face. Terminator Joe says, also my taser with a flashlight. Ooh, that's cool. Taser. I have something really cool, a shocking device that looks like a flashlight, though that has no light. JH, nice to have you here, JH. Hello, Bob and Jim. 53 years old today in Denmark. A mere babe in arms. I'm 54, so 53 is a great year. And congratulations. Have a very, very happy birthday, JH. In Denmark, I assume a beautiful place. I have never been there, but I would really like to go. My parents are going to be headed there in sometime over the next year. Cold Steel SR1 Light in gift, and my favorite show, The Knife Junkie. Nice. Oh man, too kind. I'm so glad you're having a happy birthday, and let me salute you for your birthday. Dion Page says, hello, King Junkie Jim and the rest of you junkies. Hello, Dion. It's great to have you here, as always. Longtime friend of the show. I want to, JH, I want to salute you, sir. Thank you so much for coming on your birthday. It's a great honor. This is for you. This is the, here, I'll put this under the thingy here, the camera here. This is my Hogtooth Knives fighting Bowie. It's a homage to the Hell's Bells with those devil horn guards there. Such a sweet knife. And you got that Australian Gidgee, ringed Gidgee wood? Gidgee. Yeah, that's what it's called. Anyway, here's to you, sir. Happy birthday. May 53 be your best year yet. And here's your swim by. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Someone's running the water. It's a little late. Okay, I'm going to put this down. And Pete Davidson says, there is not enough room to list the stuff I carry every day in my bag. But let's just say I have pretty much everything, including a small packable sink in my work bag. Damn. Yeah, you do. You have everything, including the kitchen sink. I keep a lot of stuff in my go bag, not my go bag, but my daily carry backpack. And then eventually it gets to the point where I have to start pulling stuff out. But yeah, man, it is pretty heavy. Jacob Vargas says a good camp knife is the Dawson Reaper. Dawson, of course, making some very cool fixed blade knives. I love their stuff. Bobtism, thank you, man. Bobtism with a super chat. He says, "Go team." Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. Let's see. Let's salute you with this right here. Thank you, man. So this is my SOG Super Bowie. I love this thing. I'm a huge fan of the Mac V SOG style combat knife, Bowie knife. This one was made in the early 2000s. It's a AUS 8 fully hollow ground, beautifully hollow ground, nice and thin and sharp, and just a gorgeous knife with the stacked leather. And this one is a 7-inch blade. That's what makes it a Super Bowie. The traditional SOG Bowie is 6 inches and everything is scaled down. I got to admit, I would love to get one of those too, but you know, of course I do. This one has a beautiful old leather sheath. It's old now, I guess. been through the ringer somewhat. So here's to you, Bob Tism. Thank you so much. Cheers. And here's your, look at that. Look at that beautiful knife. I love this thing. Yes. All right. Do you remember in Terminator 2 when Sarah Connor leaves her SOG Bowie stuck in the picnic table and then goes off to kill Eric Dyson or whatever his name was? I was like, why did you leave that sweet knife stuck in the table? How stupid. A, you might need it. And B, you're just going to leave it there? Come on. Karen Slavin says, upstate, a little place called Elmira, famous for its prison. Okay. I went to school in Saratoga Springs, New York. Beautiful place. But like, I love all of the areas outside of it. It's kind of a shishi sort of place. There are so many beautiful spots in northern New York, or upstate. Sorry. Ryan Ellis says, "What's going on, guys?" Well, what's going on with you, man? It's good to have you here. Cliff says, "Bob, sup, bro? Sup with you?" And those, what are those again? Oh, you got a fish, a big, beautiful fish. For a second there, it looked like you were holding ducks, and I was like, why would he be squatting with the ducks? Anyway, Anthony Kitchen says, "I like wallet, belt, pocket knife, light." Oh, I like wallet, belt, pocket knife, light, fire, shoes, bag for electronics or business. Wallet, belt, pocket knife, light, fire, shoes, bag for electronics or business. Yeah, you got to have all those things. I would say a watch and a phone for sure. In addition, way to cut, way to light fire, way to light your way, and then another way to cut. And tell time. Victor Blades, how you doing, Victor? Great to have you here. He says, "Hey guys, what's up? Hope everyone is good. So just got the Jack Wolf Knives Scuffle in titanium. Been carrying. It's been nice to have a beefy Jack Wolf Knives for a change. In my left pocket, in my leather slip, is the case 6247 large pen knife. Very, very nice. Really excellent. Hey, Jim, I think we need to go to a little commercial break here. I'm hearing something that needs my attention. So in a second, I'm going to dip out of here for just a quick second. We got anything?
Adventure Delivered. Your monthly subscription for hand-picked outdoor, survival, EDC, and other cool gear from our expert team of outdoor professionals. TheKnifeJunkie.com/BattleBox.
Hey, knife makers. Tired of paying too much for your online store? LaunchCard gives you everything you need for just $27 a month. Sell as many blades as you want with our drag-and-drop store builder. No tech skills needed. You get all the good stuff. Secure checkout, back-in-stock alerts, and easy product reviews to show off your happy customers. Plus, your store looks great on phones and computers. Already using Shopify? Knife makers are switching to LaunchCard because it just works better. Try it free for 14 days at TheKnifeJunkie.com/launch. That's TheKnifeJunkie.com/launch.
All right, guys. Thanks for the quick interruption there. Something in the other room I needed to take care of. I could just hear it. Let me show you these Civivis, just in case. I'm not trying to like hard sell you there, but I need to start raising funds for my Rainmaker. Got to say, and you know, I've been saving my shekels, but I want to make it more less painful. And I got so many knives. I figured I'd start moving some of my Civivis. So you got the 6 Skill, you got the original Sentinel Strike, you've got the new Guile, you have the Brazen and the Neuro Haptic, all super smooth. 3 button locks. I've been really enjoying these button locks. These 2 are my favorites, I gotta say, but the rest of them are awesome too. If you want a Civivi, $30 to your door. I pay for shipping and everything. Just let me know. Send me an email to TheKnifeJunkie@gmail.com. I also have some send cuts. I'll show those in a quick minute. Those are $25, and yeah, right to your door. I just want them to go to a good home. I kind of want to free up some space because my knives are starting to get piled up on top of each other in my drawers, and I want to I want that Rainmaker. Clark Henry, nice to have you here, Clark. He says, my EDC is a pack of matches and a sharpened toothbrush handle. I love it, but don't tell the guards. That's awesome, man. Yeah, there's nothing like a sharpened toothbrush handle. The Maroney, nice to have you here, Maroney. He says, hey, y'all. Well, hope you're doing well, you and your family. Pete Davidson, nice to have you here. Pete, we've already said that, but I love the Police 4 so much. I have a backup sitting in the drawer for just in case. I have custom carbon fiber scales with checkering, titanium hardware, titanium pocket clip, and a wave opener. Ooh, that sounds awesome. That sounds nice. The wave opener on there sounds good. Urban Woodsman, nice to have you here. Urban Woodsman 87, sitting on porch smoking the tobacco pipe. That sounds lovely, man. I've been pipe smoking for a little while, and then my dad got me some cigars for my birthday and a humidor. So now I'm back smoking cigars. Haven't smoked my pipe in a little while, but there's nothing like sitting out for me on the back patio and having one of those two, a pipe or a cigar, and just looking at the trees, usually listening to some podcast or other. So glad you're enjoying it. Jerry C, nice to have you here, Jerry. Hello, all. Hope everyone is doing well this evening. I know I am. I hope you are, Jerry, and I'm pretty sure everyone else who's here is too. The Maroney says, I just got the Kaiser Bully in S45 VN and full tie scales, and the Kaiser Spitfire. They are both awesome. As I was going through my knife drawer today, I looked at a bunch of Kaisers not a bunch, 3 or 4 Kaisers that I have, and I really, really love them. They make awesome knives. Anthony Kitchen says, I got the regular Elementum 50% off at Walmart. The Civivi one, obviously, but good score. Very nice, the Civivi one, yeah. I don't have one. I've had them come through here, and I really like them, but I kind of feel like no Civivi collection is complete without it, so maybe I should. Northern Knife says, Jason Browse used to own some land up here in Alaska. Maybe still does. He stopped in the shop a couple of times. Really nice guy. A sweet knife for the giveaway. Yeah, no kidding. He was the guy who did the Silent Soldier. That was definitely his biggest. That's the knife that put him on the map. And the Silent Soldier, also folder version, but a pocket fixed blade knife for self-defense. Way before that was a popular thing. Cliff says, Northern Knives, I'm Alaskan, and I live in the real estate, not the city. In the real estate, not the city. Laughing his ass off. Oh, man, it looks beautiful where you are right there. That looks like, what's his name from How to Hunt channel. Urban Woodsman 87 says, had my custom Wesser fixed blade and the Manganis Aurelia on me today. I love the Aurelia. I have mine out on the table. If you don't know what the Aurelia is, designed by Sharif Manganis. This thing is just so awesome. Such a beautiful knife and incredibly made by Riat. They really know what they're doing. They really know. And this is probably one of my favorite knives of all time. One of my favorite folders of all time. It's like right up there with my absolute favorites. Pete Davidson says, favorite fixed blade at the moment is the Victorinox fruit knife I modified with copper liners. How cool. Sculpted carbon fiber handle and an acid etched blade. Thanks, Ed Calderon, for the inspiration. Yeah, that's one of my favorite. I have a Victorinox fruit knife that I keep in the car, and it's got the bent handle, and it's wrapped with jute, and it's got a Kydex sheath that I made with the little hook so you can drop it in your pocket and pull it out and have the sheath stay in your pocket. Or it also has Velcro on the side, and I have some Velcro on the inside of my center console where I can stick it if I need it, right there. John Sisney, nice to have you here, John. Buck 110 FG, excellent. Bic lighter, a cut down Bic round stick. So, that's cool. Cut it down to make it easier to carry. Classic pen. And my left hand for a notepad. All day, every day, #knife. Thanks for the great knife knowledge. It is my pleasure. I love this. We have an old school. I like the 110 with the Bic and then the Bic round stick. They're just like very elemental and classic. Scott Winters, nice to have you here, Scott. He says #knife. We need about 30 more of you to sign up. Just to make sure that everyone's got a fair shake at this. Ryan Lynch, nice to have you here, Ryan. Hey all, he says, everyday carry lately is either a Giant Mouse Biblio XL or DeMarco AD 20.5, a Bradford Knives Guardian 3. I like Bradford knives, and I love their horizontal leather sheaths. A Leatherman Wingman and a SIG 365X. Very nice. Wallet and keys. Excellent. The 365. I know I've experienced that, but I don't think I may have shot one. My dad has one. James Hart says, and I now have a Cold Steel Arkansas toothpick. Yeah, that's right. It's dang near a Quillian dagger of the European style. Yes, it is. I mean, like, essentially, that's what it is. Especially given the guard that they gave it and the pommel. And if I remember correctly, because I bought one for my brother like maybe last year, it really holds like it's weighted in the back, so you get really a lively tip, kind of like a dueling dagger or something like that. James Hart says, I wish I could strap that on and then go walking. I have taken to walking the dog with a Laredo Bowie slipped in my belt. I'm like, and usually I have a shirt like this, which might cover up some of it, covers up half of it or something. I'm like, what are they, so I have a Bowie knife on me. Big deal. It's nighttime and you never know. Anthony Kitchen says that giveaway knife looks perfectly capable. Yeah, no kidding. Capable of a lot of stuff, I think. By the way, hollow ground back here and flat ground here. It's a really nice knife to look at, I gotta say. Beautiful knife. And that usually carries a lot of weight with me. Cool profile too. Adrian Fighter 35 says, my EDC is always some kind of cold steel knife and a chip on my shoulder. Love that. My wife tells me to leave it at home, but I use it every day like my knives. Yeah, you gotta advocate for yourself. You gotta stick up for yourself. You gotta, and sometimes that might come off as a chip on your shoulder, but you gotta be strong. John Schaaf says, hey Bob, I was wondering if it's not too personal, could you tell us a little of your process for when you're prepping for an interview? I do as much research as I can on the person. And usually that's not that much. Usually I'll watch a video or two. I never listen to an interview though. If I know they're on another podcast, or I don't watch interviews or listen to interviews because usually they're A, very long, but B, I kind of want to get the bullet points and then ask the question and kind of let them answer the question. I used to write questions that had a lot of information in them. And then I realized, well, this is all for the guest to tell me. A, people are not tuning in to hear me talk. They're tuning in to hear the guest talk. And B, why would I load my question with a bunch of information that they're about to tell anyway? It just made me sound like a know-it-all or whatever. So yeah, I'll go to their website, see how they represent themselves, go to their Instagram page, see how they represent themselves. And then I also do a lot of interviewing for my job. So it comes somewhat naturally. But I jot stuff down, bullet points. I never write out questions anymore. And so I can glance down. Oh yeah, I want to talk about his new model called the Thrasher, I don't know, or the Thresher. Even though I haven't interviewed him, Gavco. But anyway, thanks for asking, and it's not too personal. Cesario Atan, nice to have you here, Cesario. Good evening, Bob and gents. My Tops Norseman has not left my side for 6 months, except in the shower. Yes, in bed. #knife. Ooh, Cesario, be careful, man. You don't want a knife in the bed. That could just keep it right next to the bed, please. The thought of that. I've fallen asleep with folders in my pocket, and I have awakened and nothing has happened, thank God, knock on wood. But I always think, what if it came out? It would just be terrible. So just be careful, please, is all I'm trying to say. That's a major phobia of mine. Um, Pete Davidson says, being a chef, I get to carry lots of cool weapons every day. I really like my 12-inch butcher's steel. Yes. Yeah, it's like a sai. A nice ergonomic wood handle, a long, thick bit of steel, much sturdier than a baton. Yeah, and you're more justified in having it on you being a chef, for sure. But it's like it's like a sai because they have almost a little bit of a point to them, just enough to like really, really hurt, but not enough to break the skin. Nice. I like the steel. Jacob Vargas says, hit that thumbs up button. Thank you, Jacob. I appreciate it. Always reminding people. I appreciate that. Brown Sugar 0069. Good to have you here. Hello, Knife Junkie. Well, hello to you, Brown Sugar. Hope the world's treating you well. Ghost Keeper. Nice to have you here, Ghost Keeper, with that big, delicious looking fish, though I'm not sure if that's an eaten fish. But anyway, carried the Vosted Psyop top liner lock 299. Okay. What is that? Is that the one designed by Tough Knives, Jeff Blauvelt, in teal micarta and brass bolsters? Monterey Bay Knives Wolverine and Best Tech Cicada Wing. Oh, that is beautiful. In beautiful resin handle, breathtaking, for $53. You know who recommended that? Dave once recommended I get that from my wife. That's a cool knife. Nice carry there. Hero Stick says, CJ RB Nanner. Yep, the yellow one. Dan Hardy chronograph watch. Ooh, I like chronographs, but I'm not sure what that is. What the Dan Hardy is. Wait, what? Watch with yellow nano strap to match. No kidding. And Pinkerton Custom Smilodon blacked out. Well, since all you guys are giving me your EDC, perhaps, just perhaps, it's time for me to do the same.
What's in his pocket? Let's find out. Here's the Knife Junkie with his pocket check of knives.
In my front right pocket today, and I've been carrying this a bit recently, I gotta say. I've been carrying my Cold Steel large XLs lately, but the Voyager XL Vaquero serrated with the Snaggletooth. This one gets a lot of playtime. Been loving this knife, and on all of my XLs, I've bent out the clip a little bit, as you can see, some space there. It's big enough. It's not going to just come out of my pocket, and I don't like it to grip too much. I don't like pulling my pants up and knowing that it's going to shred the threads on the seam and all that. So I just loosen them up a little bit. They're big enough that they'll sit in the pocket nicely. So I had this on me, that beautiful AUS 10 blade. I really love the profile of this blade. This Vaquero and the older Vaqueros, they changed the profile a little bit. I love them both. I just think they're beautiful. And also, I wish they'd make a fixed blade version of this, by the way, but because this one is really good for that sort of back cutting motion that in my imaginary fights I do on incoming hands. People in my imaginary fights are always thrusting at me, and I'm always sucking the belly in and backing up a little bit and dropping that tip and just gouging and making them regret it. I love this knife. So I had it on me. I'm thinking of I have a small 4-inch version of this with the plain edge, and I'm thinking of doing some large scooped serrations just on this curve part right here. I think it'd be cool. And I don't know. I would find it handy. Also in my right pocket today, clipped mostly in my right pocket or in the left, very close to the innard part of the seam. Doesn't matter where I had it, but the Scuffle from Niche Knives and Jack Wolf Knives. This is the JW Collab Scuffle. Such a cool Bowie knife, clip point knife. It's a clip point, what do you want to say? Tip of the hat to the classic Bowie knife. Both the classic folding version, but also the Old West style, just kind of big Bowie. It has a nice thick handle here. And by thick, I don't mean super thick, but we're used to the quite thin Jack Wolf Knives slip joint handle. So this one is substantial. It's a little bit over a 1/2 inch. like 0.6 inches. Very nice, deep hollow grind as per usual, with that beautiful swedge. Looks so cool with the fuller, which makes it very easy to open. First Jack Wolf knives with a traditional flipper. With this also has hidden hardware and a pivot collar, and just generally super sweet knife. It was great catching up with Ben last week on this show. He's a great guy, and he's very what's the word, articulate. Like, you ask him a question, his answers are always well thought out and really good. And he's a good businessman. All right, so this here was on my belt all day. I was teleworking from home, so I could have this on my belt. I bet if I carried this on my belt at work, it probably wouldn't go great, actually. But love this thing. It's very, very comfortable in hand. Also, though they're sold out, he makes currently sold out. He makes a large version of this, which I love. I think it was Hero Stick. No, Kepmuk Nesshart, I believe, loaned it to me. Look at this. Look at this. I like the size shrinkage. Think they know about shrinkage? And then last up, this has been my ESK for about a week right now. The Cold Steel Taipan. Such a cool knife. This one has Sanmai steel. We'll let that focus. This one has Sanmai steel. You can see right towards the edge. Sanmai 3, or it's just Sanmai. So Taipan, made in Taiwan. This was a knife I wanted for so many years and finally bought it last year, I think. Love this thing. Probably the most robust dagger in my collection, though I have some doozies, so maybe I shouldn't even say that. But man, this thing is awesome. And it is full tang. It is not a cable tang like the Laredo or the Natchez Bowie. So this is what I had on me today. What did you guys have? Well, a lot of you have told me already, but for those of you who haven't, do let me know. Been back on a cold steel tear lately. My ESK and my main pocket folder today were cold steels. I just can't quit cold steel. I love them. Put these back. This thing I'm digging so much. Bobtism says, do you have a Randall knife? Yes, I do. Do I have one out? I don't have one out this week. Let's see. I've been looking at one of those as my next purchase. Awesome combat knives. They are. I love mine. I have two. I have the number 2-7 combat stiletto, which is friggin' beautiful. It's got the commando style handle, so it's got sort of that curvy handle and stacked leather. Beautiful. And then I have the 16-7 SP number 1 fighter, which is a long way of saying it's the number 16 with the number 1 blade on it. It's awesome. Number 16 handle with the number 1 blade. Great knife. Craig Vincent says, today's knives were the Cold Steel 3V8010, the large Talwar XL. Oh, that's funny. I have the large Talwar right here. Voyager Tanto, serrated, very nice. The Hatamoto in 20 CV, the Swift 3 in M4. Swift 3 in M4, right? The Purple Ritter RSK, very nice. The Kaiser Grazioso, which I believe was designed by Sharif Manganis, am I right? And the Kaiser Contrail, very nice. So you had 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 knives. That's a good haul, man. That is a really good haul. So nicely done. Angry Tom's Hat Next Door says, nobody does the swim by as good as you, Bob. Oh, thanks, Tom. I may as well. I have it out. This kind of looks like some sort of aquatic menace. Pete Davidson says, hey, Bob, I have a few older SOG fixed blades I'm willing to part with if you're interested. A Seki-made Pentagon and a Taiwanese. Oh, I am interested. Oh, with the removable knuckle. Yes, Pete, I'm interested. I am definitely interested. Let me know what you want for those, and we should see if we can work something out. Definitely the Pentagon, and I've wanted a Tiger Shark forever. So yeah, we should probably talk about this. James Hart says, I now have in my knife collection 93 knives. Nicely done, sir. So it looks like you need 7 more to get to that that launching point to 200. 93 knives. That's good. This does not include swords, tomahawks, machetes, axes, a spear, and 1 pole arm. Very nice. I understand that. I mean, I would consider them all a part of your knife collection, but I agree with you, they're not knives. So you shouldn't count them as knives. But yeah, very nice. 93 is a good number. That was the year I graduated college. Trent Costello says, got a new Viper Aid from Pocket. Got a new Viper Aid front pocket wallet, and my Cold Steel S35 to light. Tie light, 4-inch fits the pocket, the outside pocket perfect. Wait. Cold Steel S35. I think you mean. Do you mean tie light, like one of these, 4-inch versions of one of these? Tie light fits outside pocket perfectly, and these wave open pretty nicely. Gotta say, though, I wish they had the quillions reversed. I know I say that all the time. This should be facing the other direction. It would give your thumb a great place to butt up against, and it would also wave out of the pocket easier. But I think he was worried about patent violations with the wave. Pete Davidson says, brand new in the box. Very nice. I really wish that that SOG would still make those great old knives. I know they still make the Bowie and the Super Bowie, but they had so many cool knives, fixed blades back then. Jacob Vargas says, looking forward to my custom clip point Bowie from Edgy American Blades being made. Thanks, Shane Gables. I think he posted a picture of that today, and it looks so good. It looks so good. You're going to love that knife. And the 1931 Leatherworks sheath is awesome. All right, guys, we're going to do this giveaway in a few minutes. I just want to remind you to just put #knife in the comments. And then stick around because we will be giving this away shortly. And if you win, make sure you send me your address. If you like NASCAR, I'm about 45 minutes from Watkins Glen Racetrack. Oh, I'm not a huge NASCAR fan, but I remember Watkins Glen because I used to drive Route 90 all the way across the state when I would come from Ohio out to Saratoga, which is right, near Vermont. So I crossed through the whole northern part of the state. What's up, knife peoples, says Ed. And then someone else was up there, and I'm sorry, I was blabbing and I missed you. Matt Maurer says, brazen is amazing. The Kronos brazen by Palmetto Armory is my favorite version. Ooh, that sounds nice. Palmetto Armory. Sean Clark says, thanks for the heads up on the Provoke X on Smoky Mountain Knife Works. Just ordered it. Appreciate it. Awesome, man. I can't wait to see. Did I play with that at Blade Show? I think I did. I know I went over to CRKT, but I think it's cool. I think it's really cool design. James, and I love the idea of an everyday hatchet or tomahawk, like the Wingard wearable tomahawks. James Hart says, yes, my #1 favorite knife in my collection is my Western W49 Bowie, dated as having been made in 1984. Really nice, man. I have one hanging on the wall right next to me. I love that knife. I love it so much, my voice just cracked. John Schaaf says, Vosteed is untouchable at that $130 to $150 range. Very nice. Yeah, I like Vosteed. Just last night, we had friends over, and he was carrying the Vosteed Raccoon with the top liner lock, button lock, and I was very impressed by that knife. Terminator Joe says, I forgot my Frenzy and a pair of medical scissors. Oh, yeah. Do you have the Leatherman Raptor and medical scissors? Angry Tom's hat next door says, I'm sitting here smoking my pipe also, but not the tobacco you would find in a smoke shop, says Angry Tom. Enjoy it. It's Thursday. Go for it, man. Though the day never reined me in back when I was indulging. Didn't matter what day it was. Hero Stick says, Vosteed is killing it this year for sure. Yeah, and their very first knife we still have here. It's one of our most used. I'd say it's our third most used chef's knife here. The Morgan, I think it was called. Jason Small, how you doing, sir? I made it, Bob. It's good to have you. I'm glad you made it, man. He just sent me a picture of his collection. So awesome. My recent EDC roll has the TKL FLN1 small Knipex pliers, a small bit wrench, and the twisted assisted bartender's tool. Oh, cool. A tenable Kratos, back left, and the Diamond K sack splitter. I don't know why that's funny to me. Well, yes, I do. What is the Diamond K sack splitter? Sounds menacing. Speaking of menacing, I have this out here. Dave gave this to me. I love this thing. It's part of my birthday. Bang. So cool. Everyone hit that thumbs up, says Mike of Northern Knives. Indeed, do that. Hey, also check me out on Instagram at knife_junkie_podcast. That's my new Instagram. And for weeks and weeks, I had to reestablish a new one after I was kicked off. And for weeks and weeks, I had nothing up there except for 2 or 3 pictures. But now I'm starting to put my collection selection up there, my daily knife short on Instagram. So if you miss it on YouTube, check it out there. Yeah, check me out there. Donald Fry, good to have you here, Donald. Howdy, everyone. Happy Thursday Night Knives. When I leave the house, it's with one of my heavy-duty folders, one of my fixed blade horizontal on belt, Streamlight micro stream, and my Glock 26. Very nice. That's the subcompact, right? Double stack subcompact 9. John Schaaf says, I just bought the Boker and Gudritis Coffin Barlow. Oh, God. I love Chuck Gudritis' knives are so cool. He just does some really, really cool stuff. I'd love to get a handmade something by him someday. It is sacrilege or a blessing. Is it a sacrilege or a blessing to have a pocket clip on a traditional? I am not a purist in that way. I think it's just fine. Though it depends on how traditional it is. But if it's a modern made Boker, like I would not want a clip on any GEC. I just wouldn't. But on a modern manufacturer style traditional knife, like something Boker would make with Chuck Gudritis, I feel like I do. I have one of my daughter's hairs like stuck in my beard. I think it's totally fine. Not sacrilege at all. Robert Strebin, nice to have you here, Robert. Good Thursday evening. Good Thursday night evening, Bob, Jim, and all you junkies out there. Robert, we're giving this away, and we're doing it in 2 minutes. At 1:10, we're doing this. Hero Stick says, Bob, I missed it. Is the Rainmaker you are acquiring the folder from Olamic or something else? No. It's the RAINE maker, a large fighting Bowie by Bobby Rains, who is in the chat tonight. That's the one I want to get. Ooh, it's so cool. It's such a sweet knife. You can see it in the very capable hands of Rolando Escotada. And yeah, he does it justice for sure. I'm no slouch though either, especially lately since I've been talking so much with Rolando. I've been practicing a collie a lot more than I had for a while before that, and my collie has a lot of Bowie in it and has a lot of back cut in it and redondos. And though you do have to be careful about edge awareness when you're doing redondos, I am and always have been. Oh, my nose, Malcolm Holt. Sorry, Malcolm. Let me put this down. Malcolm Holt, nice to have you here, sir. He says, hello, everyone. Well, hello, Malcolm. It's always good to see your name here, your face, so to speak. Anthony Kitchen, the Carl Jr. production run. Go with my USA Pocket Bowie. How cool. I love that he came out with the Carl Jr. I know Dave has one. He just posted a video of that. Jason Small says, oh, I picked up that old expensive cold steel spike. Oh, yeah, the one, they always did have one. Like the spikes were always inexpensive except for the one that looks like the Delta Dart kind of, and it has the egg-shaped little thing, right? Am I right about that? Commander Raider Bell says, let you all know Arkansas toothpick illegal in California. Yeah, like everything else. And I don't mean to diss California. It is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. I love a lot of California. I love the land of California and the people I've met out there, for sure. I don't mean to diss it. But I'm not crazy about their knife laws. Let's just say that. Adam Howard, nice to have you here, Adam. I agree on the Ace Biblio. Very good knife and definitely in my top 5 EDC. I like the Custom Knife Factory Rotten Evo 3.0 the best. Yeah, that is a beautiful knife. Beautiful knife by Rotten Designs, Rotten Blades, Rotten Knives. Deion Page says that hashtag knife is freaking killer, King Junkie. Yeah, well, it is. It's super cool. And we have Dave to thank for that. I'm really appreciative of this. But yeah, does that not look like a futuristic knife? But also very practical. And it's super ergonomic and comfortable in hand. And then if you know Jason Browse's designs, I could have guessed, if I didn't know, I could have guessed that this was from him or someone ripping off him. We've reached that time of Thursday night where my nose will start itching crazily. I think it's all the jabber shakes the nose hairs or something. I don't know what, but all right, so let's do it. Let's give this one away. Jim, let's bring it up. We have 75 entries. Thank you, sir, for bringing that up. 75 entries. That's a pretty good amount of people. Let's pull that switch, that lever. I'm thinking of the one-armed bandit in 3, 2, and 1. Oh, let's see. Let's see. Don't forget, there's always the tease. It's going to look like it's yours, but it's going to be the next guy's. Greg Vanderlip. All right, Greg. Congratulations. This is your knife. Make sure that you send me your address. TheKnifeJunkie@gmail.com. TheKnifeJunkie@gmail.com. That's Greg Vanderlip of the Vanderlip Dam, which gave way in the beginning of the movie Chinatown. Actually, it gave way before the movie Chinatown, but you hear about it. This is yours, Greg. So happy to be sending this to you. Give me your address, and I will get it in the mail tomorrow. All right, with a little swag pack of stickers. Greg, the winner of our contest this evening, says Lengren A687 Ruger 9mm. What's the Lengren? Is that a watch? Is that a knife? Luger. Listen to me. Ruger 9mm, a 1952 silver 50-cent piece. That's cool. 1952. Olight. It sounds different, right, when you throw it on the table? Olight Hank, Kubi, Darkness, Tonto, Rosecraft Mohawk, Rosecraft Lusahatchee Jack. That's a cool one. CRKT Stiff Kiss Fixie. Very nice, man. Nice carry. I've heard of Lengren before, but I'm not sure I know what that is. Edgy American, we have Shane with us. Shane, nice to have you here, man. EDC lineup, Canik TTI Combat, Spyderco Mannix. You gave me a Mannix, and it's one of my prized Spydercos. Edgy American Blades, Thug, and Nightcore Torch. Oh, man. So Shane is tweaking the knife he made for me, the Junkie, and I cannot wait to see that. And that is in no way pressure. I'm not saying hurry up. I know, like, you got paying customers and you take care of them, but I'm very excited to get it. Kevin Smith and Knives. Good to have you here, Kevin Smith. Flickating my McNeese PM2 frag tie now, but carry the Excalibur today. Very nice. I like your it's not Game of Thrones, but I like your spread there. Will B says Bob reacts like whenever I mention a knife under my pillow or something. It's true. It's true. I do, don't I? It's just the thought. I always think of the horse head scene in The Godfather. I can't help it. Urban Woodsman 87 says, 10 years ago when I applied to work at Academy Sports, I referenced my YouTube channel to establish my credibility in outdoor knowledge. I think that helped. Urban Woodsman 87. All right, I'm gonna have to start following you. What urban do you live in? What urban center do you live in? Oh, actually, you probably don't want to mention that, but do you live in the middle of a big city? And how often do you get a chance to go into the wilderness? Autumn Wind says, hello, Bob. Hello, Autumn Wind. Nice to have you here. I like that. I like the pirate. Jerry C says, we're just guys that like our knives. It is a tool. If we have a chip on our shoulders, we'd be rolling in M1 Abrams tanks, by God. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Like, you know, it's certainly good to have just in case. But really, we have it because we love our knives. Jason Small says, I love the yellow namer. The yellow namer. Are you talking about the nanner? The nanner that was just being discussed? Oh, yeah. I think you probably mistyped and you mean the nanner. Robert Jones. Good to have you here, Robert. What's up? Well, not much, man. How you doing? I have an affinity for Roberts, just being one. So good to have you here, Robert. Woodsman, Urban Woodsman says, that's one deep ass pocket. Sheesh. For this, you mean? Yeah. This is one that I cannot carry, I got to say. I don't have any pants that I can actually get away with carrying this without a big shirt or sweater or jacket that's going over. Anthony Kitchen says they had the big Raj Cold Steel tempting, low on Amazon. All right, perfect segue, sir. Let's get into the knives I have, the new knives I have to show you tonight. First of all, I want to show you this. Jim just gave this to me. He found this in a box in his garage, and it is sweet. This is a straight razor, as you can see, and I have to clean it up. I sharpened it. It's wickedly sharp now, but it says it's Sheffield, England. And it says Down Bros. I think Down Bros. It's kind of hard to see through the rust, but Down Bros, London. But it's actually made in Sheffield, England. So cool. I'm really, I love this thing, Jim. And it's got a nice stiff action. I've had other straight razors that kind of flop in and out. And I guess you could probably peen over the pivot and make it more stiff. But this is nice and stiff. And I like that because if I were to take this out and cut you, I would not want it closing, even though you're gripping the razor itself. But this thing is so cool. And for years and years and years, the pocket knife of choice for many a brigand and just ruffian and no good neck that you might find in town, in the alley. Nice, deep, hollow grind, super duper, incredibly thin. I love that. Love this thing. Thank you, Jim. And black synthetic handle. I don't know what that is. Some sort of old school plastic. I got to get to dating this and figuring out where and when. But first I have to polish the blade. And I'm kind of liking it all patinaed like this. But if I polish up the blade, it'll be easier to read what that says there. All right, next up, this was the Raja was mentioned as an Amazon knife. One of my Amazon purchases was the Raja 3. This is one that I've always had my eye on, and they knew it, and they just put it right in my face, and it was so inexpensive, and I just jumped on it. Not literally, of course, that would kill me. But I love this little kukri. This thing is awesome. It feels so good in my medium-sized hand. Like if you have giant mitts, this might be too small for you. But a great place to choke up if you need to do that to get closer to what you're cutting. But just generally super ergonomic, very sharp. Of course, deep recurve, love that. Center line point, pretty much. I mean, no, actually it is a little bit lower than the center line, but a point that's not difficult to index or locate. And just a great knife. I dig it. AUS 10. And here I have it with the large, the Raja 2, and that's the size difference, man. 6-inch blade or 3-inch blade. Oh no, 3 and let's measure. let's measure. 3.5. So 3.5-inch blade versus a 6-inch blade. Very, very nice. This one I was just carrying around for a little while during dinner and dinner prep tonight, just because I was like, I never carry this thing. And it is a little bit heavy. I like the giant clip that they use on this. It's the same clip that they use on the XL Espada. And I used to not like where it's positioned low like this, but 2 reasons. It fits nicely in the pocket that way. 3 reasons. With all this extra, it's easier to draw and wave out of your pocket and still have a good purchase on it. And then 3, or C, I can't remember if I was doing numbers or letters. When you hold it back here, it's perfectly centered in your palm. If it were mounted back here, it would not feel good in hand, but it feels really good in hand the way they have it positioned right now. So love those knives. Super awesome. My brother got me this one when we moved into this house. It was my move-in gift, my housewarming gift, this being the first house I've ever owned. I'm going to take a little shot. I decided I was going to have something. It's Thursday night, and I wanted something just, close by, and not to have it in the beginning of the show because I didn't want to get all buzzed, but I just feel like it tonight. This is an attention to detail mercantile shot glass that I got from Douglas Esposito. Salud, guys. That's nice. It's a little shooter, actually, that my wife made earlier tonight. A little bit of gin and a little bit of elderflower liqueur, which my wife thinks tastes like crushed berries, which I love because it's a little dark, and it's also kind of charming with the fairies, and it's got that flowery taste, and then just a tiny bit of ginger ale for body. We call that a gin saint ginger, but we say ginseng ginger. You know the way the upper crusty Brits would say it, ginseng ginger. So anyway, cheers. Hope you guys have a great weekend and have a little drink or a little smoke. Anyway, Edgy American Blade says, Bob, looks like I'm going to have to do another run of my Homestead clip points. Thanks, I think. Homestead, I love that name. I don't think you had that name before. We were just calling it the Edgy American Blades Bowie. I love that name, the Homestead. That's great. And by the way, the one that you posted today, beautiful. Like, you got that profile perfect. Seth Lang says, hey crew, today was Earl Custom La Rona, Arcform Theory, Bad Company Blades Finland Dagger, vintage solar powered Seiko, sweet, Through Night TIS V2, Grandfather's Parker Jotter. Seth, you're speaking my love language. I love the blades, I love Seikos, and I love Parker Jotters. That's the pen I keep in my bag. I keep one up on my dresser, and that's the pen I use all day at work because I just love the classic Parker Jotter. And you have your grandpa's. I love that. Deion Page says, Pistol Pete sold me a serrated Vaquero. It's the only cold steel serrated blade I own. It's killer. He's got a nice collection, Pistol Pete does. And man, I'm surprised that you don't have a serrated cold steel, but I'm glad you do now. James Hart says, I have the Cold Steel Raja 2 XL 6-inch blade. I do carry it now and then. It's a beast of a blade. Opens easy, too. It does. That's what I love about these big Cold Steels. You can just shake them open real easily, most of them. Here, this one. This one opens easy. All of them do. All of them do. This one, let's see. Yep, this one, too. This one flicks out nicely, too, just with the thumb. John Schaaf says, equipped with the Emerson Wave so I can get straight to the killing much faster. Well, a man's got to have his priorities. Paul Mills. What is that? 2 cats in a box. I love it. Every time I have a box, even if it's too small, my little hunter killer jumps in it. She's the best. I love that cat. Uh, she just jumps in it, squeezes herself in it, or a bag, grocery bag. She's in there immediately. Edgy American says that's the best looking Jack Wolf knife I've seen yet. Yeah, yeah, I love this thing. I love this thing, and it's great size at 3.5 inches. He great collaboration with Niche Designs. You know, this design is Nick Rogers, 100%. You know, they had some little things to tweak together, but I love that. I love that Ben is working with young or less established designers. By less established than he is in terms of his distribution, and young guys who have their finger on the pulse, and then he lets them go to town. I want the LT Wright Northern Hunters so bad. Here, I'll show it to you again. I love this thing. This being the small one, you might want the large. I would love to have the large as well. This comes with either black micarta or green micarta. I couldn't say no to the green. I love green micarta. Adam Howard says the LT Wright is awesome. His knives are always sold out. I bought mine right from his website. So I know that his large Hunter was sold out, Northern Hunter. When I got this, it was still there. So go check his website is what I'm saying. He had some knives available there. And this thing, you know, for the Gentleman Junkie giveaway for this month, this is a great little knife. I love this thing. What is this called again? Frontier Valley. Very cool. And it's got the shed. They all have the shed. Adam Howard says the LT Wright is awesome. His knives are always sold out. Yeah. Look at that. So cool. Very nice micarta. Really nice handle. Super nice guy. Very talented. I really enjoyed talking with him. Scott Winters, hello from Virginia Beach. Hello, Scott from Virginia Beach. I loved that was the first time I was there. It was over the winter. It was cool to be there. Saratoga Springs, New York. Was your dad a Navy submariner? No, he was not. What? No. How does Saratoga Springs? I had no idea that they had any sort of Navy presence there, because it's in the mountains or close to the mountains. No, but he wasn't. He wasn't. Maybe if he were, I'd have his Submariner watch. No. My dad was in the Air Force. He was a flight surgeon. Jeremy Giroux. Nice to have you here, Jeremy. Tour Merchant 2.0 and Elysian Canuck. Oh, wait. The Merchant 2.0, is that a folder? I think I know the folder. It's like a drop point. Looks maybe a tiny bit like a Spartan Harzy, perhaps. Bobtism says, I pray for your cargo shorts. That's funny. I'm going to put these away, and I'm going to show you one other knife I got just because I had to. I had a lemon of this once before. So many knives, so little pockets. No kidding. So I got this, the Kudu knife. I did a first tool on the Kudu knife last week, and I had to get the cold steel version. I have the slip joint version of this with the back strap spring and no way to lock it, but it does have a very stout spring, so not as essential to lock it, or not as doesn't make me feel insecure about not being able to lock it. Let me get my thing here. But the first Kudu I had like this, and this was like $10, I think, on Amazon. The first Kudu I had, this ring broke right off. It wasn't the ring that broke. It was this part that held the ring. And everyone else who had one on this, who was in the comments on this show during that time, said that mine must have been 11. So I was like, I wanted to get another one. Yeah, let's see. This is really tight. So you pull this back, and then it's got the, whoops. So it's got, let's see how many stops. 1, 2, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 little stations, and then it's out. fully. But the kudu is used a lot in South Africa. This is a South African knife, but a lot of hoods like to use it. A lot of thugs like to use it, and they are known for their rattling thing there and being very inexpensive, easy to sharpen, and easy to replace. So street fighters and guys like that tend to use these. What's Piper fighting method uses these knives. So I just decided to get one. It was inexpensive enough. I just threw it in there. John, good to have you here, John Marchell. He says, the new Jack Wolf Knives Scuffle showed up a few days ago, and it's been in the pocket since it arrived. Love it. Which model did you get, John? Which colorway? Did you get this? Or which one? Let me know. Pete Davidson says, what's the best way to contact you? I would happily trade as long as it's legal and easy to import. Just so you know, the Taiwanese Tiger Shark has a single guard, not a double guard. Okay. All right, cool. That's fine by me. TheKnifeJunkie at gmail.com. Let's talk there. And a trade. That's an interesting thought. A trade. Jacob Vargas says, I have always wanted an American-made Bowie, like it should be. Yes. I agree. American-made. I'll show you another cool American-made knife right here. Northern Knives says, today's carry is the Strider SNG in Arctic Distressed Custom Cerakote. Ooh, that sounds cool. A Microtech MSI tactile turn side click pen, titanium Maritac flashlight, and a Chavez Revencion. I always mess that up. Slip joint. Beautiful. That Strider SNG in Arctic Distressed Custom Cerakote sounds incredible. Adrian Fighter 35 says, today's carry was the Recon 1 clip point for work and the Tie-Light Chris serrated blade for my ESK. Excellent. Yeah, that could come in handy too. That's nasty. Bob, my daughter Jovi says hi. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Jovi, hi. I hope you're having an awesome evening, and hoping this show isn't taking your dad away for too long. But you know, we all have to sort of indulge in these kind of programs because where else are you going to see something like this? Have a fine evening, Jovi. Glad to have you here with us. Victor Blade says, I love that Taipan. Gorgeous. If I do large FB, wait, what? Hang on. Let me start this again. I love that Taipan. So he's talking about this, of course. Gorgeous. If I do a large FB, that will be it. Must be in the name because I'm waiting on a super hot folder by Best Tech that goes by the same name, Taipan. It's unique. It sings when it opens. Ting. Yeah, I love that. So the Best Tech Taipan is very, very cool. I'm so glad it doesn't have a sharp tip because I would have to buy it if it did. It's a beautiful Warncliffe with a abruptly ending blade, and it's totally cool. It'll be really great for utility, but I always have to have a little bit of a point. So I would feel morally obliged to get that. But this Taipan is an adder or some sort of a poisonous snake. I think that's right. Nice hollow grinds. Bob Tism says Vosteed Porcupine is the bomb. Yeah, it is. The Porcupine is a nice knife. Dion Page says, I carried a blackjack in my truck that looks like the one you have there, King Junkie. Oh, nice. This one right here. Mine came from a retired cop. Look at that. Yeah, nice and stiff. This you can hit with the side too. You don't have to like hit it with that surface. You can hit with this surface. Bang. Turd burglar. That is funny, man. That's a term I use in the car when I'm driving with my daughters. And the first couple of times I used it, they could not stop laughing. It's a pleasure to have you here, Turd Burglar. The Vosteed Mini Psyop and Emissar D3 AA flashlight. That's cool. Is that a Lotus Esprit? Or is that no? What is that? Is that a Supra or a Lotus Esprit? Dragoon LSK. My uncle had a Virginian Dragoon, this giant 44 caliber single action pistol. That was so cool back in the 80s. Dragoon says, what do my eyes gaze upon? An EDC guy I don't know? Whoa. Hey, if you're talking about me, I'm somewhat of an EDC guy. I'm more of a knife guy, though. But yeah, Dragoon, it's awesome to have you here. And I like your what do you call it? Sheepdog there. It's great to have you here. And we're here every week. And we've been giving away a lot of knives. Well, one knife a week, usually. So come join us and take your turn on the wheel, because we have some super generous viewers here. Chief among them, Dave, has given me so many knives to give away of OG blade reviews. I'm sure you know OG blade reviews. And like the knife we gave away tonight to Mr. Greg Vanderlip. By the way, Greg, make sure you send me your address. So every night, so join us. Join us. Jesse Reisbach says, I have a Seki Pentagon and a mini hashtag knife. Oh, the mini Pentagon. Okay. And Seki too. They were set up a lot like these, weren't they? They had the sort of craton handle, the shiny aluminum pommel / guard, pommel and guard, and then that beautiful short half serrated dagger. Love it. Hi, Bob, says Nikki Trelease. Nikki, it's great to have you here. I hope you're having a fine evening, and let us know what you were carrying today. Dragoon says, Greg, holy crap, a good chunk of the usual delinquents are here. Yes. Oh, good delinquents, classy delinquents. Classy. Speaking of classy, I got this Ek dagger out here. Also a beautiful piece. Bobtism says, shoot, you want to see some crazy NAF laws? See Michigan. Oh no, Michigan. I'm not going to go on about Michigan. I was born there. I was born in Dearborn, which has been in the news lately. That's where I was born back in the day, and very different place then. Will B says California would be one of the greatest states if it weren't for the people. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't say that. I think the people add the character. I know you're joking, but yeah, I guess I take exception to the government there. Everything else is super cool. Mattisfaction, nice to have you here, Mattisfaction, as usual. It's great to have you here, and I like your Phoenix. Matt designed such a cool knife. Hello, Bob and Jim. Hello, Matt. And came on the show. He talked about it. But what's the name of the knife? I can see it in my mind's eye. It's beautiful. And I just saw it in someone's EDC shot on Instagram. But remind me of the name of that model. I'm having a senior moment. Shane says, Maddie, just in time for the giveaway. Figures. Oh, jeez, man. Greg Vanderlip, no way. Yes, way. Way indeed. I can't wait to send this to you and get it out of my stat. Like the longer those things stay here, the easier it is for them to migrate to more permanent parts of the collection, and that's not right. So Mattisfaction says, I've been rocking a Bally song for my EDC this week. That's cool. As well as a tin of Altoids, a Boker Atlas Multi, a pen, and my lucky coin. That's my full lineup this week. That's cool. Tin of Altoids is a necessity. I don't carry them. They're either in the car or at my desk at work. But if I put them in my backpack, the sound drives me nuts, and you got to put a little thing in there. But nice carry. There was something else in there I was going to comment on. But Dragoon says it's October, so I'm carrying the 2024 Halloween mini sheepdog and mini grouper in orange, along with my KFC Towser K. Oh, that Towser K, that's a cool knife. I used to have that knife. But what do you think of the new Halloween edition of the Civivi by Zach? What is that called? Terminator Joe says, you got any good suggestions for neck knives? Oh, yeah. Next week, I'll pull a bunch of neck knives off. But here's Terminator Joe. It's across the room, and I don't want to go get it because that's bad TV. But I got the Fred Perrin Ladakh dagger. It comes without a handle, but it's super sharp and it's super light. And I wrapped mine in jute. I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna put this down so I can go get that because you should see it. Speaking of daggers, this beautiful dagger here. But I will get 2 neck knives to show you, and come on. And as I do, all my neck knives are gonna fall. But all right, two very different types of neck knife here. The one that's gotten the most carry, besides the minimalist that I used to keep behind my work ID. This would be the one that I've carried the most, just plain. This is the Wicket, the primitive Wicket by Knives by Nuge. Primitive because it's wrapped in jute cord and it's got a Scandi grind. The regular Wicket has a more polished looking blade, doesn't have the brute de forge stuff on it, or the heat treat. Is all, and then it's got a full flat ground blade and G10 or micarta handles. This being nice and thin, a great cutter. It's just here, great sheath, and it comes with this cool leather thing here, leather thong with the wazoo clip here. Works great. This thing is so light and flat and comfortable. Even that jute feels good against your skin. Like if you put it under a t-shirt and you have nothing, between that knife and your skin, it still feels really good because that jute is coated in epoxy, impregnated with epoxy, and then scorched, so all the little hairs are burnt off. So it's really nice and smooth. The other version, this one I wrapped in with my jute cord, but this is the Fred Perrin Ladakh. My daughter braided this leather cordage for me, but this Ladakh here is really nice, really sharp, very thin, and I just put this jute on there. I put shellac on it, sort of that amber colored shellac, lit it on fire, and it's great. It smells a little bit at first, but it doesn't smell anymore. And it's got a great, also very thin, light for the size, great sheath. This is what I intend to do with the sheath. You see those 2 little red spots. I'm going to put little hooks, carved little hooks in there. I just haven't done it yet with a Dremel. And then you can drop this thing in your pocket, take off the fob, the cord, drop it in your pocket, and then when you pull it out, the sheath would hook onto the side of the pocket and just drop back down in, and you would have this awesome dagger. So I recommend both of those. They're awesome. There are a lot of great neck knives, but to me, they've got to be thin and they have to be light, or otherwise they won't get carried. I have a lot of great neck knives that I don't carry that I might put in my waistband or do other stuff with, but yeah. Craig Vincent says, Bob is a swaggerai warrior. My giveaway knife came with all manner of swaggernalia. I sent you some swag. I mean, I've gotten so many stickers from Blade Show and they sit in a file. I'm like, in my file cabinet, first of all, it's taking up valuable file room for all of my finances. They could all go there. But it just takes up room and I don't do anything with them. So I give away a lot of stickers and patches and that kind of thing. Unfortunately, I have a knife in the bed story. Woke up in a crime scene. Holy crap. Now, I know I'm a gullible guy sometimes, but I think Shane is being serious. Shane's got some great stories he's told me. Bob Tism says, someone has an Abram for sale? Like an Abrams tank? Yeah, I'll take it. Make my commute easier. Split and Slices says the horse head scene. The horse didn't sleep with the blade under his pillow. No, he didn't, but waking up. No. Greg Vanderlip says, thanks so much for the opportunity, Bob. Longtime watcher, first time winner here. LOL, much appreciated. It's my pleasure, Greg. Yeah, you've been here a long time, and very glad to send this to you. And by the way, this, I forgot to mention this, but this is kind of a cool thing. The hidden hardware on the clip. So you don't have a screw or anything that you see until you look inside. But I love that. It's nice and clean. And this design is nice and clean, and yet still futuristic and complex. And it also looks kind of like a stylized jumping dolphin. But that's neither here nor there. So glad to be sending this over to you, sir. Sean McDonald, nice to have you here, Sean. 2 cold steels, a verdict, and a Hunter double safe. Oh, yeah. Durable, functional, likable. I was looking at that. The double safe Hunter, and then also the Bushmaster, which is also a double safe style. I think it's got a secondary lock anyway. Ray Herman, nice to have you here, Ray. Mamba 111 Magna Cut off-grid. Oh, nice. For my first Magna Cut. Awesome. I love the Mamba. That is a great blade. Mine is Magna Cut too, as a matter of fact. It's got to be the same batch, or from the same run. Jacob Vargas says it's like a 40s style made straight razor. Is it? Okay. I don't know about straight razors. I got to start doing some research. But there's still some meat on there. It does shave my arm, not too comfortably. I wonder if it would. I'll try that when I'm not on camera. Doesn't that make way more sense? Also, dry shaving is, shave with that Bakelite handle beauty. Bakelite, okay. All right, thanks. I was wondering what that is. It looks kind of like the Celador from Victorinox. But yeah, I think you're right about that, Bakelite. Northern Knife says, Knife Junkie hitting 100 concurrent watchers. Nice, congrats. You definitely deserve it. Thank you. I appreciate that, Mike. Also, well, since you're talking about numbers, let's bring this up. Here is a Dirk Pinkerton fixed blade. One of let's see, what do I have? 5 custom handmade Dirk Pinkerton knives, and he is incredible. He is well known for his designs that he licenses with the big makers, but he is also known amongst his peers in the knife making world as an incredible grinder of blades. And I would agree 100%. I love his stuff, and I also love his designs. But what I'm trying to get at is he's going to make a custom knife for general giveaway once we hit the 50,000 subscribers on the Knife Junkie channel. We're at 41,000 something. And so there's a ways to go. So your incentive to get everyone you know to subscribe is that you could win a Dirk Pinkerton custom-made knife. This one here is a double-edged Razorback. I'm not sure which one we're going to go with. He sent me a picture of a really cool design yesterday. A double-edged upswept beauty, kind of looked somewhat Middle Eastern, very cool, about the size of this. And he had me send him the Matador I bought from him so that he could trace it out, because some people are wanting that knife. And I don't blame them. It is awesome. But now I'm waiting for him to send it back to me. He's like, I haven't made that knife in so long. I need to take measurements. Can you send me yours? And I said, yes. And I want it back. I love that knife. But so subscribe if you're not subscribed, or if you think you know someone who might appreciate this show, or the interview show, or the midweek supplemental, or the shorts, or the long form videos. Not too many people watch the long form videos, but you should, because they are long close-ups of knives, but the shorts seem to get a lot of traction. Also giving away a couple of send cuts, not giving away, selling. If you want to buy a knife for $25, I have these send cuts on offer, and I figured I'd show you guys first before I, take them elsewhere. But yeah, $25 gets it shipped to your door, and that's it. You're wearing a Be Less Dumb Band-Aid, playing with the Agent 001 too much. Yeah. This was from trying to open up a fully enclosed pistachio with a knife before my first coffee, and I knew it was stupid. I had a premonition. I'm like, Bob, you're about to, damn it. And it was a very sharp spay blade. So it was like a large, that blunt front end. And man alive. Be less dumb. This is the perfect Band-Aid for this wound in particular. Because usually when you cut yourself, you don't think I'm about to cut myself because you stop yourself. But in this case, I did not. So yeah, look at these beauties. This is the Bronte. This is the Squiggy. This is the Awasi, and that's the Scarnax. The Scarnax. These are all really nice. This Scarnax has really nice action to it. I still have quite a considerable collection of Civivis, but that's a nice one. This one I've actually used. These have not been used. This one I carried, never really used it. But I love this, the Bronte. Like Charlotte? Is it Charlotte Bronte? Wasn't she a writer? Look at that. I love that thing. It's a really nice design. All right. Sorry. That's the hard sell. Buy a knife if you want it. It's going to go towards my Rainmaker Bowie, which I can't wait for. I can wait for. I anticipate with great joy. Here's another knife that's been on my mind a lot lately because Bowie knives, and I just can't stop with the Bowie knives. And there's someone who, I'm not sure if he's here tonight. Bob, the gimlet is my go-to mixer. Is that what I just had? Did I have a gimlet or what's in a gimlet? That's like one of those cool old drinks, like a Tom Collins or something like that, that they drank in like Chinatown, the movie. Eric Flat says, tried some mead with soda water the other day. Outstandingly refreshing. Mead. That's like Viking drink. Oh, no, that's glug. What is mead? Mead is like Old England, like the Anglo-Saxon world. Dion Page says, Killer Thursday Night Knives is always King Junkie. I gotta snooze. Yeah, I'm almost there too, man. Have a great night, Dion. Have an awesome weekend. Treat yourself right. David Nephilim Slayer says, in the rack is my Banshee Mark IV, the Beretta 120 1201P on the belt Olite Warrior X Axon T10 DP Smilodon, Dirk Pinkerton Smilodon. What a cool knife. And P2000. What is the P2000? That must be a light, I guess. And the Banshee Mark IV. I don't know what that is. Is that a gun? I don't know. Chef, good to have you here. Chef Rocky C. Sup, suckers. How you doing, man? Hope you're doing well. Sup with you. Dragon says, Cold Steel is a hidden gem, especially paired with Midway USA. Yeah, they really are. So the Midway is awesome. Also, Chicago Knife Works is good. Just don't expect the knife real quick. The Natchez Bowie. Someone here, or someone who comes here frequently, at some point is going to be making me a beautiful black leather sheath for this with the belt stud and everything. This sheath works great. It's just not a sheath befitting this knife. This is crying out for leather. So having that made. If you are a mimosa brunch type, I used to be, Saint Germain Elderflower liqueur shot is there is right nice. So yeah, we used to, when my wife and I did not have children, and when we lived in Manhattan together, Manhattan is very brunchy, and we used to have this great Mexican restaurant that had bottomless mimosas, and we really took advantage of that. And then we would go stroll around the city all day. It was awesome. It was fun. Those were the days. But these are also the days. Like I love every stage so far. Knock on wood. Hope they're all good stages. Jacob Vargas says, love to be in this community of knife junkies, like-minded people that speak my language. Thank you all. Well, I think I speak for all of us when we say, hey, thank you for being here too, and allowing us to converse thusly. Baptism says, if you like USA-made fixies, you should check out Joseph at Fire-Hardened Blades. All right, I will write that down. Fire-Hardened Blades. I do love USA-made fixies, Fire-Hardened Blades, and especially Bowies, but also, you know, daggers, fighting knives. I need to get a Hogtooth Knives dagger. He's been killing the daggers. I sent email, Bob. I hope I sent it right. Email. So, Greg, I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did. I could probably tell you right now, though, you know, let's see. Got it. All right. You're in, Greg. So tomorrow I will have it to you. Okay. These are FBH Fire-Hardened Blades. Oh, nice. Those are cool. They look like scalping. They look like kind of old school. Oh, that's nice. Oh, okay. I follow this guy. I recognize the one with the red handle down at the bottom. I recognize that profile. This whole bottom page. The Duchess. Okay, cool. Yeah, those look great. They look like great all-arounders, and I like that sort of scalper knife profile. If that. Okay, one more knife to show off. This is a good one. This is a good one. Great way to wrap up the show, too. The Puzon Predator Hunter Bowie. Now I may have to get at least one more knife. Yes, I think you should. Or two to make it 95. Cold Steel Kudu is the only knife that scares me. Is that because it's easily, you think because it's cheap? The slip joint one gives me a little bit better feeling, I got to say. I think the Cold Steel Canadian belt knife. Oh yes, that's a great one. I have that in a little survival kit, and it's robust. I like the knives from that series, especially. I'm a huge fan of the Roach Belly. That I think is the best one in that category. That is the Puzon Predator Hunter Bowie from Work Tough Gear. Steve, how you doing? Speaking of Submariner, I almost pulled the trigger in Tyson's the other day with a trade in of my date just. Got cold feet, but I'm 90% there. Oh, dude. Yes. We've been talking Submariners. That is way out of my range, but I think they're so cool. Though my tastes have really there's a watch called the Vacheron Constantine 222, and it's $40,000. Well, it's, if you want it in gold, it's $77,000. I like the stainless, and it is like $35,000, which is I can't even understand that. Though I can, if I had like tons and tons of money, I'd get that beautiful watch. But it's such a anyway, I'm sorry, I'm getting lost in that. Matt of Faction says the K in Kudu stands for crime. Exactly. All right, guys. I think I got to wrap it up. I'm hitting a wall here, but yeah, those guys who do the Piper fighting style, they shake it, and that's part of the menace. And they do a lot of that reverse edge kind of thing, which I think is kind of cool. I know they do a lot of reverse grip stabbing, and I'm pretty sure it's tip down, edge in, but don't take my methods. I have no idea exactly what they're doing. Fred the Lug, hello all. Fred, good to have you here. I hope you've seen some more of the show, because we're about to end this right about now. But Fred, welcome, and hope you come next week. Every week, Thursday night at 10 p.m., except for the weeks when we don't, which is a travel week, or when something every once in a while, work, like at the end of October, this might be happening. Work I just can't avoid it. It's late night. But anyway, thanks for coming. Tell me you're a knife guy without telling me you're a knife guy. All right, guys. For Jim working his magic behind the switcher, oh so very hard, we greatly appreciate it. I do say to you, Don't take dull for an answer.